feel so stupid because I don't know if I'm alive or not. So this is some stuff that's gonna have to take me getting used to because I don't know if I'm live. So if I am, I am. But anyways, oh shit, I am live. Wow. Yo, what's up everybody? Honestly, I just hopped in the I just really I just really hopped up in here today to just talk about something. I was trying to get Zaya to hop on before I got my day started, but I mean, I'm going to jump right into it. It's really piggybacking off of something that happened. What it was a couple months back between I guess with Zaya and Skinny. Well, it didn't even happen with Zaya and Skinny. Zaya made the comment that if he could choose any race, he would choose to be white. And it's funny because the conversation was brought back up again on Saturday when me and Zaya went live just talking about, him being clapped and all of that. And, it made me think because, no shade to anyone. Some people in the chat, stated how they felt. And Zaya asked me a question. He said, well, if you could choose or you had to choose, what would you be? What's up, Gucci? What's up, Scrooston, Texas? What's up? What did I say? Tammy for life. My fault if I'm butchering names. But he posed that question, and I said, yeah, I will be Arabic or Middle Eastern. And I was after we hopped off that live, I was just driving down the street, and I was thinking, and that shit really had me blowed. And I thought about it. I was like, as a black man, why should I ever have to choose? Because based on scientific proof, all men came from black people. And I'm not making this a black and white thing, but I'm just saying, well, I get that he was stating that from a privilege, but what is privilege? I mean, some things we might have to work harder for as people of color, but privileges that a white man has versus what I have, I wouldn't choose that because I know a lot of low life white people. And, only thing I really feel like white people do best, they come in and they steal and then they reshape and repackage the idea as if it was their idea. And, that's not shade to any of my white friends. It's just a proven fact. Like, it's been a lot of contributions to the world that, people outside of Caucasian people have made, but of course, what they do, they like to repackage it and distribute it back out, and then the world sees it as if they were the great inventors of all this stuff. Like for instance, when we're talking about Black history, and damn, I remember it's not fucking February anymore, but you know what? In my books, it's Black History every day. White rich folks are not the trash. Well, I'm not sitting up there saying. I mean, we're talking about white rich folks. They monopolize the whole world economy, and what we may have 10 black billionaires in all the entire world, and I don't know how many Hispanics we have. I haven't really looked at that. We have tons of Japanese billionaires, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm simply saying is I would never change who I am just based off of a certain privilege, because being black, bro, and I can honestly say this, it has helped mold me and make me stronger for who I am. I mean, shit, I remember those times I was getting what up, Chris? What up? What up? What up? What up, John J. Kicks? What up, Daniel Blake? I remember shit. I remember, bro, just being spit on because I was black. You know what I'm saying? And this was like I was 18 years old and I was working at uh Best Buy. And, no, I don't know. Like I said, there's no privilege. Like a lot of people sit up there and say privilege. There's no privilege. I feel like although they may get it a little bit easier, if you just work hard and tie your boots up tight as you can and go hard at it, you will always outdo them on any level. So, yeah, they may have an easier route, but I wouldn't say it's privileged, because anything a white man can do, a black man can definitely do it better. Or, and I'm not even making it a black thing, a Hispanic man, because like I said, to me, Hispanics, blacks, Asians, all of us, we're all one and the same. But you know how that goes, Gucci. I would like to. I mean, Gucci. I mean, I understand that. I mean, bro, honestly, if I could have been born into money, shit, who wouldn't want to be born into money? It would make a life a little bit easier. But we cannot sit up there and say 90% of the Caucasian population is born into money. You know, look at Elon Musk. Look at Jeff Bezos. I mean, those are self-made billionaires. So, I mean, I guess if we all could, I guess we would want to be born into money. But if I could just change my life, nah, I wouldn't. Hold on, hold on. Damn, I'm trying to navigate this shit. Y'all bear with me because I'm kind of dumb when it comes to this chat shit. Um, this is D. I'm white. I come from a trailer with two alcoholic parents. I've worked for what I have. I don't get me wrong. I had help along the way, but the help came from all walks of life. I mean, exactly. So, and that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, we all have to work hard, and a lot of people, when they say I choose to be white, they look at that, maybe that 1% of Caucasian people that's getting to the bread, and it's not a valid statement where you can sit up there and say this is what I choose to be, because like I said, I'm not being funny. When I'm walking around Chicago, I don't see white millionaires. I really don't. Um, so really, that's what it really boils down to. So when people make that comment, I know I couldn't choose to be anything other than what I am, because like I said, hard work and dedication to get you anything you want in life. Uh, Nobody said what, Gucci. If I hit the lotto. Well, Gucci, let me know what you're saying. Let me pull up what F Chris, or what F Chris. Yeah, there's no privilege anymore. It isn't the 40s or 50s era where, damn, I hate reading out loud, where it was a shoe in time period. I can see how certain circumstances can be different, but I have turned down jobs for jobs and loans, etc. You have been turned down for jobs and loans, etc. I mean, true. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of cats are saying it's hard. Daniel said it's hard being Mexican. I mean, it's just hard being shit. I'm just saying like this, a man in today's society. That's just the hardest thing I can say. Um, I don't think I was ready for this live, but I needed to go for it. Just hard work and dedication, man. I can't sit up there and say it's Tro said take the glasses off. You can see the screen, bro. Tro, you know I can't do that, bro. Stop being an asshole. Go to sleep. It's too early for you to be up, anyways. Um, no, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I sit up there and say. Now with today's society, bro, with the age of the internet, I feel like we have put ourselves in a position where we can make so much more of our lives, whether we choose to or not. I mean, that's totally up to you. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But hold on, let me throw up this sign from Chris. Chris, you always be giving my ass a run for my money with your responses. When it comes down to cops, law, yes, there is a difference, but opportunities is based on the level of determination and effect. If you're not thinking about being successful, it isn't going to come. Facts, Chris. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Uh, it is about your mindset, and everything starts in your mind first, because if you don't believe in yourself first and foremost, I mean, no one's definitely going to do it for you. So yeah, with law enforcement, I agree with you on that, but you know, that's, I feel like the shit with the killings, police brutality and all that, I don't feel like that's something that would technically ever change until uh we govern ourselves in a different way, and we teach our youth to govern themselves in a different way. But then again, too, I feel like there's a lot of toxic media out here as well. So Chris, salutes for that. uh what else we got? I think a race does not matter anymore. Anyone can make it in this country with the app, stock market, or creative business. Everyone has an equal opportunity. Facts, John. Facts, facts, facts. Damn, this chat kind of moving. Separation day is mostly okay. Separation day is mostly class separation. It's more about where you come from and how much money your family has. I don't know, D. I mean, yeah, everything is. I see what you're saying, but again, I know a lot of guys too that's been dirt ass poor and they lifted themselves up by their collar and they became millionaires. So I mean, family does have a lot to do with it, but for sure, for sure. Classism is the new racism. Facts, Chris. Facts, facts, facts. Race doesn't. God damn. Shit. My damn computer just froze. Hold on, guys. Fuck. What's wrong with this shit? All right, I think I'm back. Hey, I think I'm dropping a link for the chat if y'all want to hop in here. I'm not used to talking on this shit by myself. Like to sit up there and do a podcast, I guess I can talk because I can sit up there and edit around the screen. But this right here, whoa, this is like all new to me. Somebody said something that I seen. Low key, everyone doesn't have equal though. It comes to financial background of banks. How do I get that on the screen? Not everyone doesn't have an equal opportunity though when it comes to financial backing of the banks. Patrick, but you know what, Patrick, I agree with you when you say that wholeheartedly, but then again, are you going to let yourself and your dreams fade away based on the fact that you can get that financial backing? I mean, Vic will tell you this. Years ago, like I said, I had this crazy ass idea, actually the same idea that we have now for StockX. I had that idea, and I remember talking to an app developer about it, and he told me, oh, to build this kind of app you want, it's going to be like 15K. And I remember like, yo, I think was it 15? No, I think I had 10K and he wanted 30K to build the app. And I remember when he told me that shit, I just was like, oh, for real. And at that point, I just let my shit go. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like if we sit up there and we define everything by money, bro, we'll never be where we need to be, because at the end of the day, it is something that life with anything we have to work for. Hold on, I'm making good on my word. I'm giving all you fuckers wrenches. Hold on. Who doesn't have? Okay, Daniel has one. Did I miss anyone? Gucci. All right, cool. I think all y'all got wrenches. I think all y'all okay. I think all y'all got wrenches now. Now it's up to y'all to keep y'all good grades in school. Now, if y'all lose them, that's on y'all. Who am I missing? I think Troll don't have one. No, Troll has one. Chris has one. EJ has one. Okay, I think everyone could. I, hold on. Actually, put this up there. All right. So, no, where's the comment that I wanted? Sorry, not yours, Patrick. All right. So, bro, nowadays, if you're making 100K or over, you're considered lower class here in Chicago. Really? I'm not going to sit there and say I know this is an expensive ass city to live in. Damn, even 100K, we're considered lower class. I mean, what shit? I mean, it is what it is. I do know that there is a lot of money floating around out here in this city, but I mean, I can see what you're talking about. I mean, here more so than anything, I can see the segregation and the class separation here in this city. I remember when I first moved out here, and I was just riding around all the different neighborhoods and the different parts of the city, and I'm like, damn, this place is still so fucking segregated, and that shit blew my mind because out in Florida, everyone's mixed in with everything. So, uh, Jay, John, I can see what you mean by that. I can see what you mean by that. Okay, what else we got here? Facts. I will say that the country was founded on bias of racism and classism that we can't forget, but I do think it have gotten better. Yeah, of course, everything has gotten better, but I think that it's a slow crawl of progression. I felt like it could have been sped up, but I don't know. I mean, that's just based on who we are and us as a community. And when I say community, I mean all of us that are down and out. Um, what else we got? Yeah, I'm from 9 to 4 for my job, but I work from home. Oh, you talking about working? How Zay'd be up all night? Yeah, bro. I told all y'all boys that y'all could get wrenches. I told you the first, uh, what did I say? The first 1,000 people last night, I was giving wrenches. Now, like I said, it's up to y'all to keep them. Everybody starting off in the chat with the A. I make 72K here in Chicago. My rent is 13. Damn, boy, you make a lot more money than me right now. My rent is 1,300 for a 2-bedroom. I feel poor. Well, Jay, let me ask you a question. What sector of the city do you live in, if you don't mind me asking? What the hell did Gallo say that y'all clapped him? I didn't see it. Okay. Patrick says making 150K a year is the top 8% of the United States. Is it? Damn, that means fuck, we're all poor. That's only 8% of 100. Wow. Yeah. Damn, I pay 1,100 for rent for my house. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even consider purchasing a house out here just because the property taxes and the whole Illinois taxes, they're way too expensive for my liking. Daniel says my mortgage here is okay. So I mean, damn, you pretty got a decent sized house, right? At that, with that kind of mortgage, shit, people paying that for rent up here. You're right. We should have done more for Black people after slavery, even the civil rights movement, but unfortunately we didn't, and it left scars on African American. You know what? I'm gonna sit up there and say yes and no about that because the civil rights movement was a good thing, but then again, I think that could have been one of the worst things for the African American community, the whole civil rights movement. And when I say the civil rights movement, I'm talking about more so with the integration portion of it opposed to the segregation portion. I felt like if you really look at it, blacks were more successful before civil rights versus when we became integrated into society. So that's one of those things. A lot of times people look at me when I say that, just like, huh? And if you really think about it, before Dr. King was actually killed, he actually started changing his tune and his stance when it came to civil rights, and he was more focused on economics progressions of black. So I feel like, I don't know, civil rights is one of those things that you just like, because like again, we had the black bus lines, we had Black Wall Street, we had all these things before civil rights. And then you think about it, when we were all entrepreneurs and self-employed, once the civil rights movement came in, because we wanted to be included, the black bus lines faded away, the black grocery stores faded away, the whole entire black community took a hit. And at that point, blacks began to spend their money in, the Jewish communities or whatever the communities were back then. And we didn't focus on ourselves. And now we're at where we're at today. Now you really can't get a black person to walk inside of an establishment of a black person to drop bread like that. But they'll go inside the Gucci stores and the Fendi stores to spend with all these Italian brands and all this other stuff. So no, I felt like the civil rights movement was a good thing, but also in a way it was a disjustice to what we had going on. Oh, I just seen something. We had black hospitals. Now we barely even got those. We barely got black doctors. Facts. I can't dispute that. I can't dispute that. When we were separated, we were cool. Now that we're integrated, I felt like it was the worst thing ever. Let's say what trolls say. At this point, there is just mental slavery issues going on. I mean, facts, but troll as a people, how do we combat that to get our people to see that we're more than what we're labeled? You get what I'm saying? How is that something that we really combat? How do we combat that? I mean, me and you can sit up there and sit on the soapbox and preach that till we're blue in the face, and we'll be viewed as Uncle Toms and all this other shit, troll. You get what I'm saying? Just based on the way, we talk and the way we think. You feel me? So I mean, I don't know, because like I say, for the most part of it, our community, we're pretty ignorant when it comes to the education and all that good stuff. Perm, here you go. Mars, Grim Reaper, Preacher. Nothing but love, pimp. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yo, if you ain't get your wrenches, just call it out. Okay. John J. Kick says Elmore Park, small suburb next to Chicago. Nah, I know where it said. I used to live off of North Avenue in Narragansett. Now I stay off of I said Narragansett and North Avenue. Now I stay off of Harlem. So, John, actually, me and you are down the block from each other, because I stay by the hip. Actually, now, currently, I'm staying by the hip. What's up? What else we got in here? Them higgers embrace us, though. Oh, shoot. Not enough blacks for blacks. Not whites for whites. Not black enough for blacks, not white enough for whites. I mean, troll, you know what? I hate that shit, because why do we have to be one particular thing when it comes to us? I mean, if we're scholars or we have this mindset where we can think and we're free thinkers, why do we have to conform to be anything? Of course, you're always going to be black first, but I don't know, man. I hate being a black man that's enlightened, because, like I said, you always get the fuck shit. I mean, a lot of the time some people will embrace it, but for the most part, our own people are the ones that smite us the most. So, I mean, that's just what it is. Let's see what I got going on in here. I got some more wrenches to give out. How do I fuck? Oh, here we go. I'm still up here bullshitting. I shouldn't even be live. I got to go to work, but I needed to get this off my chest before the topic got too far away. Barry the Turtle. Who else I'm missing? Okay, I think I got everybody on the round. Damn. Damn, we basically neighbors, Mars. Salute. Hopefully one day I get the chance to holler at you at the hip. Man, bro, you know what? I really don't go to the hip too often. I'll drop in there if I need to go grab something up. I have to go there because I don't know if you're into it, but Meek just released some more Dream Chasers hats and he released a blue one. So I definitely got to go get that one in there. The Lids to Merrill's Park sell it, the one at Rosemont sell it, and the one on the Magnificent Mile sell it. So only 3 stores out here in Chicago sell it. So I got to make my way to get in there to get that damn hat. But hey, Chris, if you ever see me, just say what's up, bro. You know, I'm always welcome to talk to, people. So let me know. Somebody says something in here. Oh, Troll, where you go? There we go. Let me read this in my head first so I don't sound like a fool reading this out loud. Bro, I've had heated arguments with people that try to say I talk white. Bro, intelligence is not an exclusive to white race, but we're supposed to be ignorant as Negroes. We can't speak English. I mean, facts. And then the thing is, what is speaking black? I mean, what is speaking white? I mean, I don't understand that. A lot of people say that you're ghetto. What is ghetto? Or like, what is ghetto? To me, honestly, I feel like ghetto is really not a place that you reside in. I really feel like it's a mindset that you carry with yourself. You feel me? So, but Troll, bro, I feel you on that, man. I don't think I get it. I don't think I get it as much anymore, but I definitely feel where you're coming from with that. Or you get when you talk to white people, oh, well, you speak so well. And you're like, what the fuck does that supposed to mean? Am I supposed to be like, oh, bruh, yeah, like, what's up, though? Like, I don't know. So, that's one of those things. Let's see. Proper English is considered white in our culture. But I get it. But what's proper English? So do our Jamaican brothers that speak patois? I mean, I don't get that. Like, I hate when people say that shit because there's no right or wrong way to say that. I mean, to me, honestly, damn near in America, English is a dying language anyway. So who gives a fuck? What we got. Did I miss anything? Real G, I fucked with you, Mars. You all right in my books. I appreciate that, Real G. I mean, I don't know where you came from, Real G. I don't know if like you skinny gang or anything of that, but honestly, dude, none of that shit on my side matters. I'm just here to have a conversation with the people and just talk to people, man. I'm just being honest about that. Like that's that situation that Zaya and those guys have going on. I can honestly sit up there and say I'm neutral about it. I don't really care. I mean, Skinny said some things about me in the past, but it is what it is, man. I'm just here to have a conversation, man, and hopefully provoke some thoughts with people. I mean, that's all we should be using this shit for, to be honest. Ebonics is considered being ghetto. See, in white society, yeah, but if we as a collective group of people, just like how twins have their own little ways of talking, or babies talk baby gibberish, it's just something that we we use amongst ourselves. So I mean, they may consider that shit Ebonics ghetto, but I definitely don't, because that's the way that we communicate with each other. But the flip side of it is to know when and where to use it, because like I said, not everybody gonna understand the bullshit that we may be talking to each other in Ebonics, so yeah. That's what I'm saying, Mars. If you speak proper English, they'll call you white. No damn well that they would call Skinny and Rob blacker than us. I mean, shit, they probably would, but I really wouldn't give a fuck, because man, black as I am, man, people call me Matt or whatever the fuck they call me, man. That's one thing I can never change. So I like the way I sound, man, because you know what? Now, as I'm older, as 33, I don't get it as much. A lot of people, when I speak, a lot of times in a public forum, low key, I'm kind of nervous on this. So that's why I can't really form my thoughts just yet, but bear with me. The more I do this, I'll be more smooth. But when I speak in a public forum, a lot of people listen and respect what I say. So I'm really not too concerned about that now, but it sucks that, we can't be the way we be without being judged like that, like we're trying to be Tommy boys. When I first came on live, people were like, why the fuck he's talking like that though? You know what, troll, bro? Troll. I'm not gonna sit up there and say like when I didn't see your face first on live. I can honestly say, and I saw the pictures, but I didn't know you were live. And I'm like, who the fuck is this white dude? And there's like, oh, that's Troll, and no shade, Troll. And I was like, oh, that's Troll. Okay, he black, whatever. I didn't expect that because when I was listening to the lives at first, I was only listening, I wasn't looking. Education is the key to success, but even as a Hispanic person, we are all on. Oh shit, I hate when I read out. Education is the key to success, but even as a Hispanic person, we are our own people from, man, shit, I'm fucking up. Let me just shut the fuck up. Hey, Jay, I get what you're saying, bro. I'm kind of dyslexic at times. I get what you're saying, though. a lot of people, how you talk is just where you come from. People up north say I sound country, and people down south saying like we sound northerners. I come from the middle. D, where you from? In my mind, that sounds Chinese. Really, Gucci? Oh shit. Black people think I look like a nerd. White people think I dress like a thug. Shit cracks me up. I'm just me, not trying to be anything else. I mean, oh, you from Louisville? You're from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. You from Lexington, or you just from Louisville? Period. Boy, you got a strong Southern accent. You from Louisville. Screws and say, John, I dropped out of high school. I'm gonna tell you like this. I got this new model, E over E. Education over entertainment. Although someone drops out of high school, I definitely feel that doesn't define them as a person, because in high school, anyways, they don't teach you shit past. Well, in school, I'm going to be honest, they don't teach you anything past the 3rd or 4th grade. I'm just being honest. I felt like the most important skills you could get from school is learning how to add or subtract. That's all you need in life. Unless you're trying to be a chemist and all that geometry shit and all that bullshit, you don't need it. But the most important things you need in life are adding and subtracting. So fuck that, and knowing how to read. So I think the high school system that we currently have in this day and age is broken, and the emphasis put on the things that they're trying to teach our kids aren't worth anything. At some point, we'll have to stop trying to fit into what society is supposed. I mean, honestly, I would never conform to anyone. If somebody not fucking with me, then whatever. But I'll never conform. I'm in Louisville. We're technically Indian. Well, technically Indiana, but right across the Ohio River. Yo, I forgot, because a lot of people from Kentucky be going over to Ohio to go to that gambling boat, right? Facts, Chris. Facts. Money management and having a budget, obtaining loans, houses, and starting a business should be in place. I mean, but you know what? They're never going to teach us that in our educational system, because honestly, our educational system is bred to make the underprivileged the new work. What's the damn word? The work. The new workers. So they're breeding us to replace us as we get older. So yeah, I really feel like people can read it, but I don't understand. I really feel like we should actually have, outside of school, programs for all our kids, whether, like I said, it's not, and I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm talking about anything black or white. When I say our children, I'm talking about us as minorities in general, because anyone outside of white, we're minorities. And hell, and this goes for anyone, not even just a white person, anyone outside who feels like they're underprivileged or underclass. There should be programs that we should start as men with the mentor groups, teach our boys business, because honestly, the word I was looking for was working class. Our kids go to school to be bred to be the new working class. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. But I feel like the educational point, I feel like we should have certain groups outside of schools to teach our boys and our daughters and just the kids of the future about business, because honestly, that's the only way you're ever going to be anything in life, or ever going to obtain any kind of money. Because working a job, your CEO never going to let you out 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 make him far as earnings. So that's something that we definitely have to teach our kids, how to get to this money. um High school is basically need to teach yourself what to plan to do to a career wise. I mean, but then again, I don't know, because high school didn't really teach me shit. High school was more of a social playground for me. I mean, I did all right. I mean, but I don't really felt like I learned anything from high school. And then when I went to college, of course, I went there for a little bit and I dropped out. I don't know. I Everything is through life experience. I mean, some people excel in school and all of that, and then others like me, I have to have hands on to just figure out what I want to do in life. I'm more so of a hands on person. So maybe if I would have went to like a vocational high school that was geared just towards like different trades that we would do like every different semester, I could have, I could have got behind that. But just sitting in a traditional classroom and learning about, you know, I don't know, Genghis Khan and all of that shit. I have a love for history, but it didn't do anything for me. You feel me? Um, Let me see. What time is it? Okay, I still got time before I can beat traffic. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Okay, I think I'm all caught. Oh no, I think it's funny that everyone thinks that I should teach kids more life skills. I mean, of course, it's never going to change because, like I said, if you teach kids life skills in school, you will eliminate the working class and you will have a class strictly geared towards entrepreneurs. And in America, in our school systems, they don't want that. So, of course, they're not going to flip it up and change their educational curriculum. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. What was I going to ask you in the chat? What do you guys like? What do you guys do for a living? Like, are you guys at where you want to be in life, or are you striving to get there? Like, what do you guys have going on in life? Oh shit, Chris, I hope you ain't been backstage a while. I'm tripping. Yo, you can hear me, Chris? Can you
What's
hear
up?
me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Damn, how long were you sitting backstage?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You can hear me?
I'm just making sure I got everything muted.
Nah, I can hear you. What's up, man? What the? I guess he getting
Hey,
everything
what's
working.
up, bro?
Not much, man. How you living?
Yeah, man. I don't know. School's been fucked up for a long time. Shit, I'm on lunch, man. I get to work from home, so
Hey, hold on, bro. You working from
I
home
get to
in a
just do what I
jersey?
want. I can watch all this stuff.
What do you do for work if you don't mind me asking?
It's Florida, man. I work at work comp insurance.
Oh, so you sell insurance. Oh, so you do deal with workers' comp injuries and shit.
Yeah, well, I deal mostly with government contractors where people work overseas, and if they get injured, they don't really have good medical care overseas. So when they come back, I can't really get into too much about what the people do over there, but it's mostly war efforts and protection and guarding VIPs and stuff like that. So military bases.
Oh, you got a little cool little job then. You don't got a boring job like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's not bad.
How long you been doing that?
This it's pretty good. I mean, a lot of the stuff I can't really talk about. I've been in and out of insurance for probably about 10 years, but I do have a
Right.
confidentiality act, so I can't really speak about too much.
Can I ask you a question? Is the insurance industry big as everyone say it is?
Like, what you mean?
Because there's a lot of people say that there's a lot of revenue to be made with the insurance industry, and I'm wondering, is it that big of a deal?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's still a business at the end of the day. I mean, it's a very profitable business. I mean, it's it's a lot of money going into the Medicare system, medical coverage. I mean, whether or not doctors are overcharging, I mean, it's grimy on both sides. If you look at the hospitals, the way they charge, how much you're paying in premium, I mean, there's hands in the cookie jar on every side.
And you know what? And that's one thing I hate about America, bro, because when I was over in Germany, when I was living over there, I felt like I had some decent insurance. But when I came back here, I was just screwed all the way across the board, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Especially on the medical side for sure. Is this
say close the stream and just yeah, because I'm definitely getting a delay.
You're gonna delay?
But only got one. A little bit. I'm not, I'm not an expert at the whole going live shit.
Hey, me neither. That's why I'm just like, that's why when I talk, I'm just pausing to let you catch up with it. You feel me?
Yeah, this is always a test run for me. Like, I like chopping it up, but close the YouTube tab.
Do I got to close mine or you got to close yours? Oh, he's saying, Chris, close your YouTube tab.
No, I think it's more on my side.
Oh, okay. Troll says, listen through the StreamYard tab. But not Daniel, Chris, what do you feel about the educational system? How can we actually better improve that for our children in the future?
Yeah, let me close this. There, I'll close it through that. Maybe it'll be a little bit better.
Testing 1 2 2. Testing 1 2 2.
Yeah, because my headphones was delayed versus what was live.
Oh, you got Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Things, man. I got noise cancellation. I ain't trying to hear shit.
Oh shit, that's why it's the Bluetooth. Hey, but Chris, what do you feel we can do to improve our educational system in America?
Bro, they just need to quit wasting time getting people to do shit they don't want to do. I mean, if there's people that know they want to be in the service industry or manual labor or do a certain job, stop wasting fucking time. If we don't need to learn about science and math and shit like that if it has no application in what you're doing. I mean, it just seems like getting the basic core stuff is fine, but they need to teach people how to like take care of themselves, how to clean up, how to cook, how to manage money, how to start a business. Like, that kind of foundation to me is more important than, just sitting there helping people fucking learn, quotients and, all this fucking long range math that means nothing that you'll never use. I mean, if you want to go to college and become a professor or something and mathematician, cool. But, I wouldn't put any stock in that for people that know they want to be a mechanic. They're never gonna have to deal with that.
Right. So more so trade school based, you feel like we should implement into our curriculum.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially, you have all that pressure to pick a career. I mean, I don't know. You just need to find an idea that's actually going to make money. I mean, a lot of people want to do shit that's not profitable. I don't know. The way it is out here, they're trying to get rid of, at least they had a thing called FCAT, which was
right.
We're saying too many people were failing that. And I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ, we're not even testing kids anymore, or they're not making them do PE anymore. So people are lazy as fuck. So
really?
I mean, we going backwards, man. People are lazy. They want more shit for free. We're teaching them stuff they don't need to be. But I mean, for me, I'm a big conspiracy theorist anyway. So I think a lot of that shit is probably meant to be not that successful because they don't want people being too successful and building their own shit.
I mean, facts. It's a suppression method.
Yeah, I don't believe that, the government's always working in our favor. I mean, me working with government, I know how dirty this shit is on a firsthand basis. I mean, if you look at pretty much anything in history, we've been lied about almost everything, or a lot of facts have been overturned. I mean, just in our lifetime, we were told Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas, but then now we have the, American Indians that were there before them and the Vikings that were there before them possibly. So, I mean, a lot of shit in the beginning, we thought we were the center of the galaxy. Come to find out we're not, that there's just a lot of stuff that we thought the earth was flat. And then Christopher Columbus sailed around, found out that there was no flat, no edges. So, I mean, just in our lifetime, so much shit has been turned around that there's really no point in learning that stuff unless you're going to be an archaeologist in college and try to do that shit for a profession. It's basically just hearsay, or whoever's in control of the information giving you the narrative they want you to believe.
Right, right. I mean, hell, I couldn't even say that any better than what you said. You're right about that. Yo, the piggy. Let me back up a little bit. They got rid of the FCAT.
Yeah, out here they don't do that anymore because they were saying it was holding back too many kids because they weren't passing the basic reading and math and English basic courses and stuff. So
what? But what did they replace it with? Anything?
No, I mean, they just do regular. I mean, hell, they even I don't know how it is everywhere else, but out here, even in my time, it was like you had to get a 96 to 100 was an A.
Right.
And now it's 90 to 100. I mean, so it was like when my stepdaughter was in school, she was over there getting C's that would be 70s because they would basically 70 to 80, C, 80 to 90, B, 90 to 100 is A. I mean, what the hell is that shit?
But why are they lowering the standards?
Too many kids would be held back. They got to push them through.
Yeah, then that just creates a society of dumb.
I mean, you got to factor there's a lot more population. I mean, especially in Florida where I'm at, there's a lot of people going to school and they just don't, you can only have so many heads per each teacher. So, I mean, if you got 40, 50 students and maybe in our time there was 20, 30, they can't give all those people one-on-one. Everybody doesn't learn at the same rate. They need to test to find out how people learn, whether you're a reader, whether you need to be spoken to, whether it's audio, written. How do you, the way you learn is not the way I learn. So, I mean, they need to figure that out, the way people are wired to know whether they're wasting their time, because there's kids that sleep in school, but it's not because they're lazy. It's because they don't fucking learn from that medium.
Right.
They need to start figuring out the way a kid is programmed that, well, you got to hear something 3 times before you remember it. Or do they just have to watch it, written down one time, or watch it in video form and quit wasting people's time and just, boring kids to sleep? I mean, shit like that just doesn't work.
Nah, and you're right about that. If you sit up there and say, hey, Mars, sit up here and try to figure this out, I wouldn't be able to do it. I have to have hands on everything. That's how I learn. I learn by touching, interacting with whatever I'm doing.
Right.
And it takes me a while. So
that might not be the way Troll works, or that may not be the way Daniel works, but we're all in the same class.
Right. Yeah. And then at that point, then that kid is labeled
lazy,
slow, or just, whatever.
He's a hard learner. He's got attention deficit. Well, not if you speak in Spanish to him and he don't know Spanish, well, then he's not going to pick up the message.
Right. Nah, facts. I mean, you're right about that. I'm kind of pissed off that Florida got rid of the FCAT, boy, because I studied my ass off just to pass that.
Tell me about it. I'm sitting there, I got my stepdaughter, when she was in school, I'd sit there and talk to her about class, and she's like, oh, I got a B. It was an 80. Why are y'all tripping? I'm like, 80's a B. I'm like, that wasn't no B, man. That was a C, almost a D.
I mean, but honestly, that just shows you the route that we're going in America. And I don't want to be that guy to say this, but I don't know if it's going to be in our lifetimes or another lifetime. But America one day will not be America as we know it. America will be ran by another country somewhere. Oh, yeah. I mean, all that stuff about everybody wanting to be on a one world government and stuff like that. I mean, eventually, I'm sure it will become that, whether, who knows what's going to happen in this world. I mean, it seems like there's pretty much something in every country that you can look at as something in peril. I mean, if you look in Mexico, all the cartels and shit like that are becoming bigger than government. In Colombia, they were bigger than government. In Africa, there's still active slavery and shit going on there where they can't trust their government. I mean, in Puerto Rico, they just sat there and changed any of their heads of state because they were fraudulent and asking them to step down. I mean, look at Putin. The guy's ridiculous. Look at Kim Jong-un. That guy's crazy. I mean, everywhere you look, there's something crazy going on. And, I mean, I'm happy I'm in America. People are like, oh, I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to go to Canada. Yeah, all right. How many people moved to Canada when Trump went in? Not that many. Shit, honestly, like I said, me being American, bro, I would not change that. Although we have some fucked up shit, I really feel like this is your best fighting opportunity in the world.
You have the best opportunities here. And I mean, like when you sat there and talked about kind of reparations earlier, I mean, it's getting to the point where everybody's got their hand in that same cookie jar. Now we got to get people that are hermaphrodites, or they're confused, or they're non-binary, or they were born a woman and now a man. Everybody wants a piece of that reparations pie.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. what you just said made me think about D Wade's son. That shit threw me for a loop. And
right, like Boozy just got, I seen that where Boozy was kicked out of his gym for having that conversation, saying that he thought it was fucked up. I agree. I don't think as a kid you should be able to make that permanent decision that you get your dick lopped off just because you feel in that way. But, you know, I mean, ultimately it's up to your parents. They're your legal guardian. I don't think they should be making those until you've gone through puberty and you've had time to assess your feelings. Maybe this kid is bisexual or whatever, but don't go making permanent changes to their body until they've had enough time to grow up and get in their own. I'm not the same person I was at 12 years old, 13, 14. Hell, I'm not even the same person I was in my 20s. I'm 36, but I damn wasn't moving the same way back then as I am now.
But you see, that's the thing I don't understand about the article, and maybe I have to go the news story. Maybe I have to go back and really look into it. Is D Wade talking about letting him get a sex change, or is he just saying that he
was
him
saying
identify
something
this?
about possibly, you know, cutting the genitals off and all that? So
shut the front door.
Yeah, like
at
that's
12?
the way the kids say that they want to go, because the kid's known for years since, I think the quote was, the kid knew since like 7 or 8 years old or 6 years old. And it's like, how the hell do you know who you wanted to fuck at 6 years old? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was just natural. You know what I mean? Like, I seen an attractive woman and I'm like, oh man, that girl's attractive. You just felt it and you knew it. But I mean, at 6, 7 years old, are you like, yeah, I know I need to lop this penis off. This shit's just getting in the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who does that?
Oh, Chris, you were asked for that one. You know what? You know what, man? I really feel like there's a bigger agenda to that, because you know what? To be honest with you, D Wade coming out saying this shit, this is just gonna fatten his money. Look at some of the endorsements he's have gained. I mean, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of D Wade on TV lately, a lot.
Exactly. Be more, at least try some pussy first before you say the shit's a wrap. You're not going to like the other side of that coin. I promise you. It's not going to be better.
Look, I'll tell you like this. If you know, because my little brother's gay, and, you know, he says he's known for a while. You know, my dad's a pastor. I will respect your decision on who you want to fuck and all of that once you're grown. Yeah. I really don't care at that point, because you're 18, you're considered an illegal adult. But at the age of 5 and 6 and 12, saying that this is what you feel that you are and you want this.
They're fucking watching SpongeBob and shit like that. They're not thinking about sex and relationships and moving in with somebody and building a life and shit like that. That is so far removed from what they're doing. I think it's because, you know, those kids are growing up super rich. They're in these Ivy League schools and they doing some, you know, they want their kid to be special and shit like that. And most of these kids, you know, these days it's cool to be gay. It's cool to be bisexual. It's cool to be fucking non-binary. And just being fucking normal is too boring for these kids.
Bro, what the fuck is non-binary? You don't conform to
non-binary means you don't go one side or the other. You just saying, you know, I'm here. That's kind of what the kid is saying. It's like, I was born a man, but I feel like I like women, but I don't really go to one side or the other. That's basically just saying you're undefined. I mean, how many fucking acronyms do we need? LGBTQT and sometimes Y and shit. But, you know, I mean, they coming up with all kind of extra shit. And it's like, I forget what it is. It's like queer, gay, homosexual, hermaphrodite, where you got both, you know, body parts. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean,
you know what? At the end of the day, when I'm looking at this, I feel like, why are we shining such a light on a lifestyle choice?
You know, it's all that fucking Kardashian bullshit when they had Bruce Jenner on there talking about, I've been living a lie and all this shit or whatever. And it's like, I don't know what the hell is going on with these people's minds. And he, you know, had all the money in the world. So it wasn't necessarily like he did it for the gram.
But,
you know,
but he still fucks with women, right?
Man, I don't know what the fuck that guy is doing. He's an ugly fucking woman, I'll tell you that.
No,
dude, hey man, I don't know who the fuck is getting with him, but you know, it's weird that it seems like the upper echelon of like CEOs and people in the movie industry and shit like that are all closet, you know, pedophiles and doing shit with underage kids and this whole Epstein shit that came out and all that. So, man, it just seems like that shit is like all over the place.
I mean, shit, man, that's the culture that we live in, man. But I'm sorry, whether it's a cool, fat thing, no one would ever get me to say that I'm bisexual or I'm non-binary.
I've never, you know, even at the root of it, like the earliest thing I can remember, you know, being in classes that have, girls and boys in it. I've never looked at a dude and been like, yo, this is, he's the one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never had that thought in my mind ever. So, there can be an entire discussion whether or not you think people are born gay or they turn gay. I've got a buddy in the Bible Belt that swears it's a decision. For me, I know a few gay people that if you ask them straight up, they'll tell you that they've known their entire life, but they tried to fit to the way society is, that they have to stay with a boy-girl relationship to be normal. And in reality, they've known since day one that that's not really for them. And because their parents were Jamaican, and that's, definitely not accepted in that culture, to have any kind of homosexual tendencies or whatever, or your parents going to beat you up. Same thing with Hernandez. His family wasn't playing the gay shit. And, we're going to beat the gay out of you or whatever, or take you to church and they're going to zonk you out and shit like that. I mean, I think that people were born that way. But this is my personal opinion. How there's people that are albino, how there's people that have ADHD or have Down syndrome or shit like that. I think gay people are of the same type. I think that it's a genetic mutation, like they got one blue eye, one brown eye. I think it's just something that fired off in their brain that makes them a little bit different. Because if you look at the way they dress, there's like butch, there's lipstick lesbian, but it always fits the same kind of type. It's kind of like when you see people that have like Down syndrome and shit like that, they all kind of have that same physical
appearance, features. Yeah.
I think gay people, it's the same thing. It could be just a form of modification that their body went through during the creation process that makes them a little bit different, but it doesn't make you worse. It just makes you different.
I mean, explain like that, how you're saying. I mean, I can agree with that. I can
just
agree
like
with that.
somebody's got webbed fingers or webbed toes, or somebody's, got platinum blonde hair or whatever because they're albino, or they got red eyes or some shit like that. To me, I think that would be me. I mean, I was in the medical industry, and all you ever hear about is the cold virus, being a mutating thing and it changes, or kids are different. Why do we get swine flu? Why do we get SARS? Why do we get coronavirus and all that? And it just, my opinion on that is, I think they're born that way. Yeah, there's people that, can just go choose to fuck other people, but I definitely think people are born that way, to where it's automatically instilled in their brain, whether they're going to be gay or not.
Nah, you right. Hold on. I'm grabbing this comment from Screwson. I had a homegirl that was a lesbian, but all her aunts and female cousins were lesbian. Why the fuck did they procreate? They all weren't lesbians at some point, and they got girls coming out the family. Like, come on. So we only go grab dick once a season, see if we can get pregnant.
Yeah. I think there was something like that, Troll, where they were trying to say that there was some sort of gay gene or something that was proven scientifically. But man, most of that stuff, I don't know, man. Mainstream science to me is funny. You have to kind of go to 2 or 3 different places to corroborate half of this shit.
Look, you know what? At the end of the day, I'll tell you like this. I will never judge anybody for who they like or whatever they are. Just treat me with the same respect that I treat you with.
Exactly. I don't give a shit who you lay with. Whoever you lay with at the end of the day is what you do behind closed doors. Nobody's going to tell me what I can't do behind closed doors, same way somebody else can. Like, my boss is gay, and I mean, she's keeps it 100, completely professional, and I don't give a shit what she does behind closed doors with her girlfriend. I don't need to know what you're doing. I just don't like the fact when, like, gay people want to be like up on each other, tonguing each other down in public and shit. I'm not doing that with my wife. There's still a thing called couth and respect.
Well, and you want to hear something too about that. And a lot of people say, "Oh, we should have the right to it," but then again, I don't want my child exposed to that shit right now.
Right.
I don't want to have to explain
too. Well, that's kind of like what I guess what Abuzi was talking about with Dwayne Wade's kid, saying they giving the kids the internet too early, so they out looking out well as other people just like me, instead of living life through their experiences and kind of figuring out on their own, not kind of like looking to somebody else and just copying that format.
Right. I mean, yeah, and that is the gift and the curse with the internet. We have all the knowledge, and we're exposed to everything right now.
I think the internet's great, man. I mean, there's really no reason for anybody to not be able to verify any information or try to look it up and become smarter. Like, this day and age, if you want to learn how to be a YouTuber, there's a million people telling you how. Or if you want to get into the sneaker reselling, or you want to get into this, I mean, the information is out there. The thing that I don't like was the net neutrality shit. That was super important. I mean, people kind of slept on that. where your internet service provider can pretty much throttle what becomes in the search engines. That's the whole reason the dark web exists.
Really?
Oh yeah, you didn't see net neutrality?
No.
That was something that was being voted on because basically Google and a few other companies that are pretty much the main, everybody here, what do you use as your search engine? Yahoo, Google, Mozilla, Firefox, whatever, Safari. Well, guess who owns those companies? They can basically cherry pick what you get. If you went on Yahoo and searched Travis Dunk SB and you put that in Google, you put that in Firefox, you're going to get a different match because they're putting whoever they're in bed with, whether it's Amazon, whether it's eBay, whether it's whoever, Walmart, all these places are lobbied for that information. And so basically they were saying net neutrality would give pretty much authoritative control to whoever your ISP is. And they're going to put in whatever the fuck they want because you're saying, well, I'm paying for the service. I trust them as my provider for the information. Yet they're going to start blackballing smaller businesses because they want you to see only Amazon on the top of the charts.
Yeah, I missed that when you just taught me something. I probably voted yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into conspiracies and government, into healthcare, and a lot of different things. I mean, like the book that I sent you, I'm waiting on to see your response with that for the remote viewing. That's something that everybody should be looking into. If you want to ever know where we came from as people, if you believe that we started on Earth, if you believe that there's nobody else out there in the universe, you're gladly mistaken. I would definitely ease to go look up that information and make up your own opinion. I'll never sit here and push my theories down people's throat, but at least hear the information out. Me, I don't know if you believe in astrology or none of that shit, but for me, I'm a Libra, and that's pretty much the scales. It's balancing. For me, I'm always thinking, well, I want to hear the opposition side, plus I want to hear the pro, the negative, the cons, and then make up my own median type of thing. So for me, there's a lot of information out there and it's starting to slowly dry up. I think the information age of true whistleblowers and people really coming out and giving pertinent information based off being in government and stuff, those days are going away. I mean, with the way that you can kind of just silence that information through kind of net neutrality and shit like that. If they don't want you to find it, they can take it off. How many times you seen shit on YouTube get taken down because they talked about Epstein or other shit like that people don't want you to know?
All the time.
I mean, and Epstein shit was, pretty considerate when you factor the guy was flying off high-level top executives and shit like that to a party island where basically any race, any type of underage kid could be provided to you for a nominal fee. And I mean, the guest list of people that were on those manifestos and shit was a who's who of government.
Bro, how do you get to that point in your life, like doing shit like that? Like, is it because you feel like you have all the clout and you're untouchable because of the money? Like, what is it?
Well, I think that guy used it as a baiting system too, because if, let's say, Clinton was on that list. Bill Clinton was on that manifesto, I think like 37 times he was on the Lolita Express plane. And so, do the math. How many times you go in there just to check out the island? But, and then they even had a picture that was on the wall in one of the buildings that showed Bill Clinton in a dress was posted on the wall. There was a joke. I mean, it just goes to show you how much shit is there. They have drone footage where they went to the island. Yeah, there's people that took a private boat and shit like that when they knew he was detained, that they went to the island. They had all kind of like church and mausoleum type buildings and shit like that where they were doing all kind of shit up there. I mean, that guy had all kind of safe houses all over the place in New York and all the, billionaire communities and shit like that. That's why he was getting away with it. I mean, if you look at any of the WikiLeaks information on the emails that have come out for Hillary Clinton and stuff, pretty interesting shit, man. Pizzagate. I mean, if you've never heard of half of these terms, they are very interesting reads.
No, you're going to have to send me a list to get me caught up because I didn't even know that his shit went that deep.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a million different shits going on with that guy. And now the Australian government and shit like that was coming out, coming out saying all kind of shit. The tinfoil hat, I'm trying to read I forgot to put my tinfoil hat on. Yeah, man, some of that stuff comes off a little janky, but, after you kind of go 3 or 4 places that corroborate this kind of shit, you kind of have to pay attention to it and see how it gets dissipated. I mean, there was actually a really good story that I saw about a former FBI agent that was saying that the government already has the technology now to modify news stories. So let's just say, let's just take any kind of news story like the Dwayne Wade announces his kid wants to get his penis off and there's a video clip. Well, if the government wants to pretty much downplay any information, they have software that can replicate the story that was reported, but it will change up key factors through some sort of generator, and it will also modify the video as well, and then blast it out to all these different sources, but modify it to every single one it goes to, so it muddies the waters and it will never have the true story out.
Really?
And the FBI former agent has already said that they know this.
I mean, you know what?
Out there.
That's not too hard to believe.
Yeah.
That's
why, I mean, it's like we've always had issues with stuff going on with the government and stuff. So for me, but I work with a lot of these companies, and I know I've seen, pretty much after 9/11, the Freedom of Information Act came out, which pretty much lets people try to apply for declassified documents. You know how shit is classified for 25 years. Well, right. What happens after 25 years? They're not bringing the paper to you and saying, here's all the shit. Well, guess what? You can apply for that information, and there's archives of the shit out there where people applied, it's called FOIA, or Freedom of Information Act, where all that information is archived, but they still redact shit. They still X shit off of it.
Who was the one that they released like 2 or 3 years ago? Was it JFK's that they released his assassination?
Yeah, most of that stuff, the JFK stuff. I mean, he was pretty much killed by the Teamsters. I mean, it was mob hit related because he wanted to shut down the unions and shit like that. And most of that stuff was going to pretty much derail the government mob type tie shit that was put in it. And then they had people, whether or not they were trained to come shoot them and shit like that. But he was trying to overrule the Federal Reserve and a lot of shit that a lot of people don't want him to be dealing with.
Nah, you're right. You're right about that. No, but I remember when they brought that assassination out, when they released the manifestos of it, a lot of that shit was just blacked out. And I'm just
it's all redacted. Yeah, all the shit. I mean, a lot of people that were involved in that, I mean, you wouldn't want to believe that your government is out there not helping you in the best way possible. They're tailoring the world to the way they want it to be viewed. I mean, you got to think about the same thing. The same shit happens in politics. If you watch CNN or you watch Fox News, the same story will be reported, but it will be from 2 different perspectives that don't have the same end game.
Right, for sure. Honestly, I don't even watch the news anymore, man.
No, I get bored with that shit for the most part. I mean, I keep up with it because, again, my job is interested in it. But, most of that stuff, I don't believe shit at face value. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in regards to science and in regards to aliens, public education, weather manipulation. I mean, you name it.
Do you really feel like weather manipulation is that like that? What was the damn movie that they came out with a couple years ago? What was the damn movie with Gerard Butler?
Day After Tomorrow or some shit like that, or the
technology to Megastorm. Was that the name of the movie?
Yeah, like Geostorm or some shit, like Sharknado shit or whatever.
You think that shit is real?
Man, oh my God, dude, we have shit that modifies the weather. It's called HAARP, HAARP. Look it up. That it shoots electromagnetic waves into the atmosphere, and it excites the clouds and fucking shit around the area, and it can start storms. It can cause rain that heats up the oceans, which causes tsunamis. The shit's out there, man. Like, if people don't think the Big Brother isn't out here doing extra shit on the side, what's nicer, invading another country or sending a fucking storm their way? I mean, there's already articles where they manipulated the weather. I think it was in Seoul, Korea or whatever. You can look it up. When there was rain and shit out there, they did their own weather manipulations, and that shit stopped the weather so they could commence the Olympics. The shit is public record.
What? Yeah, I feel like a dummy up here because, wow, HAARP secret weapon used for weather modification. Wow, I'm going to have to read up on this shit.
Yeah, you want to talk some crazy shit. It's half the time I can't speak on this shit because it's too much to type and you're bound by so much, bound by so many characters. Believe me, I'll fucking talk your ear off.
Oh, shit. I'm looking at these instruments that they have are like little power fields.
Yeah, it's basically antennas that shoot it up into the air. It can disperse different kind. Yeah, chemtrails is same shit, guys.
Wow.
It's meant to, they sit there and say that they're spraying for med flies. They had that shit out here in Florida saying that the med flies and shit like that were coming out. Hell, they created what is that shit? The love bugs, the ones that are in Florida. They created that at Florida
USF. UF, right?
Yeah, they created some things out here, and now there are, millions and billions of these stupid ass things, and we have a season for love bugs now.
Oh, I hate that shit. What, March, April, and them fucking things are all over the fucking car?
These things are annoying as shit, man.
Well, fuck your car if you don't wash your car enough.
Yeah, your pain is done if you're not fixing that shit up.
But what was the purpose of creating a love bug? Like, what was their purpose?
They wanted them to eat mosquitoes.
But those things only come out in the daytime.
Yeah, well, I mean, they pass disease, though, so they were going to have them eat each other. And in reality, they became a bigger problem than mosquitoes.
Yeah, that shit's fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude, all that shit's fucking stupid. I mean, but, yeah, it's just the world we're living in, man. There's all kind of shit going on behind the curtain.
Look, man, only thing I do not miss about Florida, bro, are the mosquitoes. That is the only thing I don't miss about home.
I would love to have a winter every now and then. I mean, the weather is ridiculous. One day it's freezing, one day it's hot as shit, but.
Well, what's the governor named DeSantis? Tell him to get y'all some snow.
Yeah, well, the problem is they don't use it for shit that we want. It's pretty much only when they want to do some natural disaster shit or whatever.
Nah, but you know what, man, if what you're saying is true, but a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just crazy. I don't think that you can think that about if you don't feel like the government has a bigger hand in everything.
Oh, they've been manipulating shit for as long as we can remember. I mean, pretty much every war that we've ever been in was not necessarily for what was reported. Our response was not necessarily what it should have been. A lot of stuff, man. I mean, police murders and shit like that, the way stuff has gone on. Screwtown called them egret. Man, it's hard to read this shit and do the comments at the same time.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to read them.
Like, you don't want to ignore the comments, but man, it's like it's hard to read and stay up on this shit.
And stay in the conversation. Chicago has the worst weather. We have all seasons all year long. But you know what, John? I love it. Coming from Florida with 90, 95, 6 or 8 months out the year. I can't lie. I actually love this 48 degree weather we have going on today. I love that shit. If we get some snow tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I promise you. I love this shit. Not for real, man, bro, because honestly, you can dress down. You can actually feel like you're living. Opposed to Florida, we got one season hot.
No, I went to Colorado in December, and that was so nice being able to actually wear some like thick clothing and jackets and stuff like that. I can't even wear none of that shit out here.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I wear my Nike windbreaker all the time, but I have like thermals on under here. But I'm not into wearing heavy coats and shit. I'm really not. Because honestly, I don't feel if you drive out here, you don't need a heavy coat because you're just going to the car to your destination and go. So I don't own a heavy.
I mean, I wish, I like these kind of chats. I'm tired of talking about the same fucking shit. What Roberto Dollars was doing yesterday. And, if his kid is putting the fucking fork in the light socket and shit, like who fucking cares? Like, most of that stuff is so low brow and so low IQ. I almost don't even want to watch it. And that's no knock to fucking Rob. I don't mind Rob, but I really wish he would just get back to the format of talking shoes and shit like that. That's what you built your base on. Quit talking about fucking girls and jobs and shit and whether some bitch was fucking 16 years old and shit. You know what I mean? We're all on the fucking internet. If I sat here and told you I'm going to rob a bank when I get off this shit, are you going to call the cops? Probably not. So what fucking difference does it matter about whether I'm holding bricks behind the camera or if, we're going to do whatever, or there's a bunch of 16-year-olds in the other room? Let's start talking about some fucking real shit about people, about money management, business building, doing some other shit. Who gives a fuck about all this he said, she said bullshit, whether, Trollmageddon didn't record all the fucking shit. The fucking message is still the same. You know what I mean? His message that there is a flaw in the system, that people need to pay attention. I can agree. Let's talk about ideas. Let's talk about other shit. Like, I like making money on the side with the sneaker business. It's not my, my major part of income, but it's nice to make money on the side. And, hey, if you can be educated and real and 98 percenters and shit like that, cool. I think that, that's a very important topic. Being able to not get fucking scammed for your hard-earned money. Nobody here is rich. Maybe we're rich broke or your definition of rich, but all of us here could use an extra buck. I'm not retiring, tomorrow, and I'm trying to get as much money as I can today. I wasn't even really mad at old boy that fucking sold the Kobe's. What was his name?
Kobe.
A-Mac or whatever. Like, I wasn't even mad at him. That's business. If you ever look at any model of any billionaire and how they got to where they're at, you know, they've stepped on some people along the way. There's some people that have come out. Look at all remember the social, what was that movie? The Facebook shit where Zuckerberg stole the idea from them Indian guys and shit like that. Or if you look at Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they used to work together and then they parted ways. Like, that's fucking business, man. There's nothing special about ripping people off. That shit happens every day.
But you know what I feel, Chris? My fault. My mic stand fell off.
You good, man. I'm too broke, man. Maybe I need to flip some more shoes and I'll get a mic eventually.
Hold on, shit! I can't do this shit on the live. It's just falling apart. I have to fix it later. But you know what I'm saying, bro? It's too much personal feelings attached to all of this stuff that's going on.
Right. I mean, you know, they just go back and forth, and they brought the kids into it and all that. I think there should be it's kind of the Scarface ethics, man. You shouldn't be talking about women and kids. That shit should be off and I will commend Skinny and Rob that they don't have their girl on there and shit like that. Leave them fucking be. It's a little bit different when, you know, Zaya's got his girl on there and she's going to talk. She's not going to silence herself. But at the end of the day, man, it's only doing damage because you just leaving the cheese out there for the rats to pick up and say, okay, well, she's responding. We're going to respond. And then it's, well, I'm just responding to the response and all that fuck shit. I mean, it gets so far beyond having a discussion because ultimately when I said to Rob, I go, his whole reason he didn't like Zaya was because maybe he was pillow talking behind his back and told somebody not to trust him. Okay, right. You know, move on, bro. Who gives a shit about what one man's opinion is?
I mean, but like I said on Zaya's live last night, I feel like they all have to do that to coexist right now and in the area that they're in their lives. And you know, they probably say I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if you look at it, one talks about the other one talks about the other.
Right.
Me personally, I'm not with this shit.
That's the method is they just go back and forth. But you can't tell me, and nobody in this chat can't tell me that the lives were not better when Skinny had Unbreakable, Damn D, had Troll, had all these people that are in our culture, you know, that are talking the sneaker shit. That shit's more, to me, I'd rather watch a 10-minute live where it's you, Zaya, and Rob than a 4-hour live with one person or nobody, just the host.
True. But you know what, man? Honestly, hopefully one day all three of those guys are four. I don't know all the players in that still because I'm sure some other ones in there. I hope, you know, they all come together one day to do what they need to do because honestly, I don't have any sides on that shit. At first, it was kind of funny, but now, like, sometimes if you know, and Zaya's my guy. When I talk to him and shit, or we talk about the live, I really don't try to focus too much on Skinny. And if he says some things,
one way or another, because then you get the fucking Thomas Lanes and the bear, or not the Barry the Turtle. Man, there's so many fucking aliases and shit. It's hard to keep up with it.
True.
Man, what's the one dude? Oh my god, I can't even think of these fucking fools, man. Some of them I just can't even. I don't even have the effort to waste. I don't mind chiming in when it needs it, but the bickering and the fucking fighting and shit. It's like, you know, everybody was happier when everybody was ready to kill each other, and I'm gonna pull up at Bar Louie and shoot it out and shit like that. You know, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, everybody wants everybody to go shoot each other up. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm grown. I'm not fighting nobody unless my life is in peril or my wife is in some type of situation or somebody's fucking coming at me. I'm not being overtly aggressive at 36 years old. My life is worth too much for me to go to jail, prison for none of these idiots. And sorry, but if Skinny's willing to go to jail after spending 10 in the can, obviously you didn't fucking spend long enough in if you're still willing to go back. That's some real fucking ignorant shit going on.
I mean, but you know what? We can say, you know, they're misinformed and ignorant, but at the end of the day, all that shit that they talk via their chats, bro, we know it
bro,
is
WWE shit. They're responding to their platform. Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Nobody is gonna do shit in real life to none of these fucking people. And you know, I don't really care if people like me or not. I'm not really looking to gain friends from this. I got plenty of people and shit that I can do outside of this. But
right.
I'd love to, you know, my goal is I want to get on lives because I've got a lot of very opinionated friends. I have a very diverse friend groups that want to talk gay people, black people, Chinese, white, green, purple, red. Florida is a melting pot of people. And a lot of these conversations that me and you are doing right now, this shit is every day.
Right. Facts.
With my group of friends. And I like to have like-minded people. You know, you don't get to choose your family, but you get to choose your friends. And a lot of people have a lot of good shit to say that aren't necessarily in my zip code.
Right. I mean, yo, Chris, you hit the nail on the coffin. I mean, you hit it. And I don't know. Hopefully one day all these guys will be able to see that, because like I said, my approach to this, I just like to talk about real life shit, and this shit that they have going on. I mean, it ain't real life. I mean,
and John Jay, you just said it right there. I don't like the fact when you become a watcher of anybody, whether it's Zaya, Rob, whoever, they're always trying to tell you, well, you're fucking as fake as they are if you watch them. What? I can watch just as there's BT, MTV, History Channel, Fox, and all that shit. That's just one channel. You know what I mean? Like, you can just flip the remote. Same thing on YouTube. Why am I having to be, we're all ready to die and jump off the mountain together, you know, because I listen to Zaya, I agree with 100% of what he's talking about. And I've said that numerous times, like, just because I listen to somebody there's nobody, even my best friends in life, I don't agree with them 100% of the time.
You never will.
And that, even my own family. And so it's funny that, like, that's the formula online. I've got to back you 100%. We're going down with the ship. And, you know, where the fuck they do that at? Like, we're all supposed to check each other when we say that there's some flaw shit going on, or that, you know, something's not factual. Chris, I'm not going to just say I'm okay with everything.
Chris, did you just say flaw? I haven't heard that in 4 years since I've been up here.
Oh my God, man.
But you know what? The one thing I hate, and when I did go on Skinny Chat, you know, I got clapped, and I'm like, yo, so if this is a social thing, right? Why can't we come here? We speak our opinion, especially if our opinions aren't being disrespectful towards one side or another.
I don't like the content creator taking that lazy approach too. Well, I don't know what the mods be doing. The mods are just out here firing. And it's like, you fucking picked the people, so you kind of know what their character is. If you went and clicked the little wrench icon, you know exactly what the fuck they're up to or their stance is on shit. You're not just in the dark, you know, like you said, oh, this person gets one, this person gets one, this person, you kind of know based off what's going on.
Months of evaluation. Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like now everyone that walks in here knows disrespect to the real G. I mean, I wouldn't give him a wrench just yet because I don't really know who he is. You know? I mean, and that's just that. It's not that I'm throwing any shade. I just don't know you enough yet. You feel me? Exactly. But anyone that has a blue in here, I know people like, damn, this looking like Skinny Chat. These are guys that I have actually been watching for the past months, and I know that they're free thinkers.
Man, I went in Skinny's chat and I was like, yo, what's good, my dude? Like, you know, stop smoking cigarettes, man. You better than that. Oh, fuck you, man. You're Isaiah, man. This guy wants him to die. If you're not on that shit, you need to get out of here. And you're a fucking pedophile because you support pedophilia and all that. And it's like, I've come up to my own opinion on what happened there, and I don't need answers. And if I do, you know, okay. Did everybody mute R. Kelly when he came out? Did everybody mute Michael Jackson? Did everybody stop watching?
Whoa. Come on. You can't say about Mike. Kels, I gave you that. No Mike.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's the thing. Like, people have to keep the same energy. You know, that bullshit fucking line.
But I'm going to tell you this. The whole thing with Zaya, honestly, I know the truth, and whether people want to know the truth or not, like I said, he didn't touch her. He didn't touch her until she was of age. I can honestly say that.
You're lazy as fuck, though, because you sat there and did like a 4-hour live with him. You went over everything. You scoured the internet. You have the same resources that they do. Nobody's gone and pulled any of those pictures off the internet. Nobody's pulled those Instagrams. Nobody's pulled nothing. And basically you were like, oh, but what about the Cherry 12s? And what about this and that? And he answered it. And for them, they were like, whoa, what about them dates, though? Well, watch the video.
I'm going to tell you something, because I was thinking a couple of days ago, and, you know, although, you know, me and Katie, we weren't the closest. Me and Katie had a conversation a while ago back in Florida when we were at Vic's house when he was staying off the turnpike. And I asked her, I was like, yo, I mean, I know you were young, but did y'all ever have, you know, whatever before you were 18? She was like, no. And this came from the horse.
You know what I mean? But you know what? Somebody could sit here and timestamp this actual second in here, and they're going to go, they're lying. It's all bullshit. Mars is covering for him. He's been paid off through Cash App. You know what I mean? Like, everything that they'll just keep running with some narrative, and it gets so boring because it's very Jerry Springer-ish and all this other shit, and it's so far removed. Yes, it's entertaining. Everybody in life, when you drive by a train wreck, a car wreck, you look and watch it, but eventually you drive away. I feel like we're parking at the car wreck.
Right.
It's time to move on. You know what I mean?
I mean, shit, it is what it is. And you know what was just, I'm tripping because it's 12 o'clock and I got
I was
about to go to work.
Bounce. It's actually 1. My lunch is over, and the street is watching, including my employers and shit like that.
Shit, Chris, man, I really appreciate you stopping by, bro. We're gonna have to do it again, all right?
Yeah, man. I just need to, man. Like I said, I got to quit smoking at night because I'll be passing out. They're way too fucking late for me, man. Troll will be getting on at like 12 my time. My wife ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. She's like, sit your ass in here and let's go to sleep. Stop fucking talking.
Hey, Chris, like, oh, man.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you guys, I mean, I could, but I don't want to hear the bitching about it. So if y'all get on earlier at like lunch and shit, I can. But like during the nighttime and stuff, I'm doing other shit. I have a lot of other interests outside of the internet, man. I play poker. I lift weights. I do custom shoes. I build shit. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's bigger than just doing YouTube on the time.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris. I'm more so of an early guy, anyways. Like, if I'm gonna go live, I'm going live in the morning, so that's when I'm most active. So, yeah, man. Chris, I'm gonna let you go. Everybody in the chats, I appreciate all y'all coming through, hanging out with me today. I hope you fellas make a lot of money, have a prosperous week this week, and y'all just be blessed, man. So,
same here. Everybody, all the same faces, man. Hopefully everybody keeps coming through, man. I think you could definitely build something. This kind of opened up the market. Like, I mean, I hate to be the bad guy. There's always another side of the coin. Just Zaya went down. It's opening up the market for tops. It's opening up for a lot of other people that have, good stuff going on. So, I like to see people kind of support that. We all don't need to keep sipping the same flavor of Coke. You know what I mean? There's other people out there that have a lot of shit to say.
You're right. And I had this conversation with his ass. I told Zay I said, yo, bro, behind screen, behind the scenes, we're going to be competing because now we're even.
Right.
So let's make
Zay
it
to me is like vintage Hot 97 when it was still good. Like that's how I look at Zaya. He's like back when New York shit was super cool. Now it's lame with Ebro and all that shit. But like he reminds me of kind of the like after hours Cypher Sound shit. Like, that's how I look at him. He reminds me of hanging on, with some friends locally and shit where they kick it. They talk about social issues. They talk about this, but we're drinking, we're smoking, we're talking shoes. And to me, it's organic. People are like, why can you watch this guy? He seems like one of the friends, like a person I can be around and we debate. And I like people that talk. I don't want people just to be wallflowers and not say shit. I like open discussion.
Just don't let Sailor Moon in. I'm not. But fellas, I gotta go, man. Y'all boys be great, and hopefully I can hop on this tomorrow afternoon or something. But yo, Chris, I really appreciate you coming by, bro.
All right, peace, chat.
All right, y'all boys be easy. Take care.